All right, let's talk about some of the biggest airdrop news, claims, and alpha that you need to know about from the past week. There's actually been tons of stuff happening, and since it's been a little while since I brought you one of these updates, I figured, hey, it's Saturday, why not just take a little time and make a video? So let's go through some of this stuff. For starters, if you are staking the M3 token, which I have previously spoken about on the channel at least 1 or 2 times, you will find an airdrop in your wallet if you look for it. It's called OG.meme. Now, you can sell it if you want to. The amount you received is based on the amount that you're staking of M3. You can also stake this new token in order to share in the rewards. The top 306 stakers earn some rewards for staking this token. So I received almost 13,000 of these OGME tokens. I just staked all of them, but you can do what you want. Next up, if you have been farming the SolAir airdrop, which is staking and restaking on Solana, you can check to see if you're eligible. Now, this eligibility checker, right now, all it shows is whether or not you are eligible, yes or no. Now, in a couple of days, on February 10th, you'll be able to actually check your allocation, how many tokens you're going to be getting, and then next week on February 11th, the SolAir claim is going live. So if you want to get the best price for this, I would recommend coming on February 11th, turn on notifications on X for SolAir, and make sure that you can potentially get a solid exit early, because most airdrops these days are just going down only on launch with very few exceptions. And on that note, let me just talk briefly about a little shift in my thinking, because last year I did get burned a few times holding tokens that I was airdropped, thinking, oh, either this is gonna go up in value over time, or if I hold it and do stuff with it, then I might get other airdrops and other rewards from that. So in some cases, that's worked out. In other cases, actually a lot of cases, it hasn't. And my shift in thinking is now basically my default position is to sell airdrops immediately, unless I would be willing, theoretically as an investor, to buy that token at that same price. Now, in most cases, if you think about it seriously, you probably wouldn't actually be putting any of your own money into these tokens that you're getting airdropped. It's one thing to farm it, push some buttons, maybe stake some assets, and receive a reward for that. It's another story completely to actually risk your own capital and buy a token. And I think if you do that little thought experiment and you figure that you actually personally would not be willing to buy a token that's been airdropped, then probably you also shouldn't hold it. Anyways, let's move on now. And by the way, I'm just scrolling right now through the rumor mill, which is basically the news feed of alpha on the rumor app. These are some of the top posts from the past few days. If you want to have access to these and actually get them in real time, then of course the link for this is down below. You can also actually join the Discord. I have a private Discord server called the Cove. Access to this is only $5 a month, and I post airdrop alpha, we have token claim reminders, there's community alpha, and then tons of other stuff going on in here, as well as individual threads for each airdrop that people are farming. So it's super active. You can come check it out if you want. I burned out last year for making daily videos on YouTube, daily content. I can't really do that anymore. However, I am still in Discord every day, and we're posting all of this stuff in real time. So if you want it, especially some of the time sensitive stuff, then I recommend either checking out the Discord or the app. Anyways, moving on now, let's talk about Bonk staking rewards. So this was basically a year-long campaign, and you can now claim your rewards. The more of these little badges or attributes that you manage to collect, the bigger the reward that you get. It's nothing massive. It's definitely not like a 4-figure airdrop, but definitely claim these if you were farming it. Okay, next up, let's scroll down a bit and talk about Bearchain, because Bearchain just launched on mainnet. So if you farmed this on testnet, in the Discord, or via some other things, like if you held some of their NFT collections, you can now claim those allocations. You can actually interact with Bearchain because the network is live. Now, technically, this is a new layer 1 blockchain, but it's compatible with Ethereum wallets. So you can use MetaMask or Rabby to actually access it. So if you farm this one via the testnet path, then your tokens will already be in your wallet. You don't need to claim anything. All you need to do is add the network to your wallet. If you have one of the Bearchain NFTs, you're going to need to actually come over to the airdrop page, bridge your NFT to the Bearchain network, and then you'll get your allocation. And then you can also actually get an allocation if you posted on X about it. In terms of liquidity for this one, you can sell it on centralized exchanges like Binance and MEXC. And there is, of course, also decentralized exchange liquidity on chain where you can swap the Bear tokens into other things. Now, on that point, there's actually 2 bear chain meme coins that are airdropping soon that you may also have qualified for. So one is called Henlo. There's a checker out for that, and I'll drop a link to that below. And then there's also this one called Bara on Blast, or Blast Bara. And this one is for people that sold their Blast airdrops. So I'll post the links to the checkers to both of those down below. All right, next up, Parcel. So there's gonna be another claim coming out very soon. You can check your allocation right now in the Parcel app. And then on February 10th, the airdrop claiming will start, and it's like a streaming throughout the month of February. So you'll get a little bit each day until the end of the month when you will finally have your full allocation. All right, what else do we got? Solar, we already talked about. Oh yeah, okay, Foxy. So this is that meme coin on LINEA. I'm sure I've mentioned it on the channel here before. Now, they are releasing an NFT collection, but this has been reposted by MetaMask and by the LINEA team. So I think there's some reasonable speculation that minting one of these NFTs could be relevant in some way to the LINEA airdrop, which we also expect to be coming in Q1 of this year, so sometime in the next month or two. So basically the TLDR on this is, if you want to get whitelisted for it, they've got this little raffle thing that you can enter by doing a few simple social things like liking and retweeting some stuff on X. Then you can submit that. And then also the other way to potentially get access is to hold at least $50 worth of the Foxy meme coin in your wallet. Now this meme coin has been basically down only along with most of the altcoin markets. I did pick up $50 in the last day or so in order to participate in this. Actually, I picked up slightly more than $50, and since it's going down, obviously that was a good idea because yeah, you need to have a little bit of a buffer. I think it has to be worth $50 on the mint day or on the snapshot day, which we don't actually know when it is. So if you are planning on trying to go for this, I would recommend buying at least slightly more than $50, especially since the price is still going down. Obviously, there's risks associated with this. Up to you if you want to give it a go. Personally, I think it's worth the risk because yeah, this NFT PFP collection, I think, has a reasonable chance of being relevant to the airdrop. What else do we have? A couple days ago, KAITO reminded people that you need to add your wallet to your KAITO profile. So if you're farming this one, and if you're not actually, I recommend checking it out. All you have to do to earn points for this is basically just be a reply guy on Twitter. But yeah, if you are farming it, make sure that you connect a wallet. Another update, EtherFi. So season 4 is over. They took the snapshot and the claiming is going to start soon. They're running yet another season until the end of May. I'm not farming this one directly anymore, but if, for example, you're still holding assets deposited in mitosis, or if you're using EtherFi assets on Corn L2 or a bunch of other things, then you'll probably still get an allocation for this. And by the way, speaking of mitosis, still no word out of them. We did the testnet campaign in December, which actually was a decent bit of fun. And since then, they've been a bit quiet. There's been some hints that TG might be happening, maybe in Q1, but no updates on that. If we do get an update, I will definitely bring it because yeah, that is one that I put a decent amount of capital and also a decent amount of time into farming. Another claim that is currently live that you may have qualified for is Tensor. So I'll just drop a link to this down below. You can check to see if you got an allocation. Okay, next up, I actually have a piece of alpha for you, a task that you could potentially do, and that is for Triad. This is basically Polymarket on Solana. It's a betting market. They have a points system on, which you can access by clicking up here, Atlantis, and they have daily and weekly tasks that you can complete. But the alpha for this one is that I noticed some people were doing wash trading on this platform, basically just buying and selling hype and flop shares all in a repeated way just to earn points. And I went in the Discord for Triad and I was asking whether or not that would actually be incentivized or if they would sort of nerf those points from people that were literally just buying and selling the same thing over and over and over again. And they confirmed in the Discord that they don't mind that because they still earn whatever small fee there is from each trade. And so if you want to try that, that is actually a strategy that gets a lot of points very quickly. Although you have to be careful because there is a price impact on this stuff. So when you go to buy or place a bet on one of these different markets, if it has a relatively low price impact, then it's a reasonable opportunity for you to sort of buy and sell a bunch quickly and rank up because they've literally confirmed that they don't care about wash trading. they're going to just let those points rack up. And so in the leaderboard, I think that probably a lot of people have actually earned a lot of points from just doing that type of activity, just basically wash trading. If you are thinking of trying this though, to rank up for this airdrop campaign though, like I said, be careful because some of these markets don't have a ton of liquidity and the price impact could be big. So if you're going to try it, make sure that you pick a market with low price impact so that when you're doing those swaps, you're not actually losing money. I don't think it makes sense to just burn a big pile of money to farm this airdrop because that's obviously a risk. We don't know for sure whether or not this is going to be worth it when it comes to actually just burning money. So for Eclipse, this is one of the main airdrops that I've been focusing on over the past few weeks. Basically since the start of the year, I've been pushing a lot of volume on that network, doing a lot of stuff. They had this little game on, which was fun. That just ended. But if you are still interested in farming Eclipse, I do still think that there is time. I posted a full-length tutorial video that most of that is still relevant. And I wanted to talk about TurboTap real quick. So now they have actually tons of boosts available for passive points, but also for active clicking. And the more of these tasks that you complete, the more boosts that you get. So if you haven't been checking TurboTap for a while, you may be ranking down relative to the other users if you haven't been actively farming it because of all these new boosts. Like when I click now, I get +3 instead of +1. And there's actually tons of other stuff that I could do where you could get even more from that, as well as more passive points. So I definitely recommend checking out all of the different boosts on TurboTap because this is for sure one of the main things that you're gonna want to do to qualify for the Eclipse airdrop. And then the final thing that I wanted to mention is that I'm actually launching a new YouTube channel called DGen Cove. So I'm still gonna post airdrop videos, basic DeFi tutorials and stuff like that on this main channel, but I'm launching DGen Cove where I can do a little bit more DGen stuff. I've actually loaded up a fresh wallet with 5,000 US dollars, and basically I'm going to live stream or post what I'm doing with that wallet to try and actually earn money by doing some other stuff, not just the airdrop farming, but actually trading, for example. So if you want to check that out, I'm going to be posting the first video on that shortly. I'll also post it on X. But yeah, it's not necessarily something that the majority of my subscribers here are interested in. If you're just into airdrop and yield farming and you watch my channel for like the DeFi tutorials, don't worry about this. But if you're interested in following along for your entertainment purposes and watch me either get completely wrecked or maybe hit a few W's, then you can check it out. I'll leave a link down below. So yeah, hopefully you found this little alpha update helpful, little unload of the top stuff that happened over the past few weeks. Thanks so much for watching and have a great weekend.